To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Dueling Disney podcast. I am one of your hosts, Andee Zomerman.
And I am the other one of your hosts, Aldee.
And I'm so excited to welcome a very, very old friend of mine and even older friend of my husband's, Debbie Collins. Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
Debbie's with us this week to talk about something extremely important to myself and Al, and maybe to you. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But for right now, let's go over our Disney weeks. What did you do fun this week, Al? That was Disney related.
I'm going to stretch the definition of a Disney week because I thought about this for a few days and I can make the connection. So Julie Andrews famously starred on Broadway in My Fair Lady. And when they went to make the movie, they did not cast her in the movie version of My Fair Lady, which left her open to be cast in a little movie we'll call Mary Poppins, which she won the Academy.
We'll call it that.
Yeah, we'll call it that. Which she won the Academy Award for, and then thank Jack Warner, because if he hadn't said no to her for My Fair Lady, she would not have been available for Mary Poppins and won the Academy Award. So I went and saw My Fair Lady in San Francisco, and it was pretty awesome. It was just really good. Just a really good show I saw. And, I just felt like I should share that.
Here's my question.
The other Disney week is as soon as we finish recording, I'm going to MouseCon, which is a small Disney convention here in the Bay Area as soon as we finish the podcast. But that hasn't happened yet. So I didn't think that would count as my Disney week.
That'll be at the next Disney week. Okay, so here's my question, though. Okay, so say he had cast her in My Fair Lady. Okay, So she's now cast in the movie of My Fair Lady.
Sure.
Does that leave Audrey Hepburn available to do Mary Poppins? And
interesting question.
Since they were both up against each other for the Academy Award, Audrey for My Fair Lady and Julie for Mary Poppins, would in fact My Fair Lady have won that year?
I mean, here's my thought. I can easily see and have seen clips of Julie Andrews in My Fair Lady, and I've listened to the cast album extensively, and I love Audrey Hepburn. I think my love for Audrey Hepburn is on record. I think Julie Andrews would have been very, very good as Eliza Doolittle. I cannot see Audrey Hepburn as Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins? I don't know. We don't even know what Mary Poppins is.
She's so slight. Mary Poppins is like that little like when you watch the movie Mary Poppins, everybody thinks of Mary Poppins as like this light and airy. Mary Poppins has an edge to her. Mary Poppins is like you. She's like a little bit cynical. Like everybody thinks of Mary Poppins as this like light.
Hates kids.
Yeah, she's always like a little snide and a little like, which is one of the things I love about Mary Poppins when you watch it as a movie. Like it's kind of subversive,
Yeah.
I can't, and I love Audrey Hepburn. The Lord knows I love Audrey Hepburn, but I just can't see her as that part of Mary Poppins.
All right, that's fair. It could be a what if. I mean, God, Ed is so and Annika are so into watching those what if, the Avengers what ifs or whatever, and I cannot watch them because I'm like,
really,
no, that didn't happen. I don't want to watch them. Why would you put your effort into something that's hypothetical? You wouldn't.
You do understand that the other things also didn't happen, right? Like, let's take a step back. There's fiction.
No. It's the same way I don't like watching extended scenes. I don't like watching deleted scenes because I'm like, hey, if it wasn't meant to be in the performance, then it wasn't meant to be. I don't need to see it.
But do you hate director's cuts?
Yeah, I do. I can't stand them.
You're at least consistent.
I know. I just give me what you meant for me to see, and that's it. I don't have time in my life for
I'm saying, look, the director's cut of that thing you do was amazing because it had all.
I don't want to watch it. I'm sorry, I don't want to watch it.
It was good.
Whatever. Ed, you guys can watch all the extended scenes. He's so happy to have like the extended scenes of The Office, even though he's seen each episode like 5 billion times. Now he's got like, oh, it's brand new. He's like, look at this part. Look at this part. I'm like, what? And he's like, that wasn't on the original. I'm like, how do you even know? Like, how? I don't know. They all blend together. Like
you have very strange tastes and opinions, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, well, thanks.
It's what makes you a good podcast, a co-host / lead host. I don't know how we've,
I like lead. I'll take lead.
You do most of the work, and I just stand here and make snide remarks.
The assistant to the podcast.
Yes, I'm the assistant to the podcast.
Debbie, I know you're here to talk about Disney, but there has to be another kind of Disney week that you've had. Actually, I see it.
Well,
So.
I try to incorporate Disney in all my weeks just because I just love Disney so much. This past week, I bought these lanterns for our Mickey holiday. They're about 5 feet tall, and they have a little Mickey hat on, and we're trying to figure out how to put them on our front porch because it gets a lot of wind and cold here, so they'll blow over. They're pretty lightweight. They're pretty cheesy plastic after all. But they look cool.
They do look cool.
They look awesome.
Yeah, they do look cool.
So I have a pair. I was actually planning on putting them on the back deck just for my view, but John's like, no, we have to put those on the front porch. They're awesome. So I was just going to sneak them away for my own personal.
I know it's John and Debbie are great. John, like I said, Debbie's been a friend of Ed's forever, but John is also very great. And the two of them are very funny. And so I can totally imagine the conversation of where you're going to put the lantern.
Well,
that's such a Disney thing. Where are we going to put these Disney lanterns?
Because at least your spouse is as into where to put the lanterns as you are. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he is. So totally. He'll deck all the whole house out. And now we have to change some things because we have to fit Disney into what we've incorporated for the last 20 plus years we've lived in this house. So
yeah, I know. I can't believe you lived that long. It's crazy. All right. Please tell me, you can hear my mom's dog barking now, can't you? Or still no?
Barely. I don't.
Okay, good. That it's not making it to our listeners. That's great. So
No.
What's irritating to me might not be irritating to you and the listeners. That's great. Okay.
But it's okay because whenever it happens, you bring it up. So it's just like it happened.
I'm not going to anymore if you can't hear it. Duh. Okay. Anyway, so my Disney week was, oh my gosh, have you guys seen the Muppets Haunted Mansion?
I haven't yet. I want
it. I have to tell everybody on this podcast how amazing it is. This is not some little cute, let's turn on Charlie Brown and feel good about ourselves at Thanksgiving thing.
I will not hear you besmirch the good name of Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving.
I'm not besmirching. I just don't want people to think that this is yes, watch it with a family for sure. But it's not like,
thank you.
Okay, stop it. Watch it by yourself. Watch it with a family. What I'm trying to say is that, it's not like, okay, we're all going to gather around and watch this. The adults will feel, oh, that was so sweet. And the kids will say, yay, that was cute. No, this is funny. This is funny. And it's funny for adults, just like the Muppet Show was intended to be funny for adults. It's got, so the kids will like it because it's Muppets, but oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's hilarious. And it's even better because the script of the Haunted Mansion that is part of the script of the movie. And so it just works. Will Arnett plays it off as the ghost host. And there are lots of fun guest stars in there, but I'm going to share one. And you know what? It's been out long enough. It's not that much of a spoiler alert. In the scene where Miss Piggy is Madame Leota, her head and
wait, Miss Piggy's in it? Oh, you spoiled.
I know that was a spoiler, and she's Madame Pigota, which is hilarious in itself. It's just so funny. But then there is a human character that comes in as part of the scene. And it's so funny because it's Kim Irvine, which if you don't know who Kim Irvine is, she has been a Disney ambassador for ages. Her mom actually worked for Walt back in the day. So as a kid, she grew up at Disneyland, and you'll recognize her. She's been in all of like the behind the scenes shows that have been on Disney Plus and all of those fun things. So when she comes in, I was like, what? Is that really her? And then, you have to look it up on IMDb. Yeah, sure enough, that's her. So I just thought that was fun that they put her in that.
Now, I haven't seen it yet. It's like on my to-do list when I get some time. But my hope is that, because I love the idea of, crossing the Muppets with an attraction. Do you think it's the kind of thing where next we'll see like Muppets Space Mountain and all that kind of stuff? Because that would be awesome.
I don't know.
Like just the Muppets go through different like attractions and Muppets flying over California. That'd be awesome.
I'm not sure. I do know that this was really well done. They really, really used. It is a musical, which didn't make Ed all that happy, but it's funny. It's funny, and Ed and I watched it together, not even with kids. So. Yeah.
Did you watch the Queen Muppet thing this week?
The Queen Muppet thing this week?
It was on Thursday night on ABC.
No, tell me about that.
I didn't watch it either. I figured I'd go find it on Disney Plus or something. But yeah, it was Queen and starred Anna Lambert and all this stuff and all these.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know about this.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. And when you said Queen, I was thinking the Queen of England, not Queen.
Oh,
I was like, they're crossing over with the Crown. That's awesome.
No, not crossing the pond. No.
You know what? I did not watch it,
Queen.
but I'm sure that it might be on Hulu.
I figured, so I figured it was. I figured I'd go look for it later. I just
I'm definitely gonna find that.
Yes. I know what you're talking about now, and yes, I totally forgot about it. So I'm glad you brought that up. So I guess I'll be watching that too. But yes, I just can't say enough good things about the Haunted Mansion. Just watch it whenever. It's hilarious. And Debbie, you guys, especially after just being there, I think you will appreciate it. So
yes, we love Haunted Mansion, one of our favorites.
Oh my God, it's so great. Well, so I was thinking, Debbie, I was thinking that we had only been to Disney together once before, but that's not true. We actually went twice because we went to Disney World before Rebecca was born. Annika was just 6 months old. But then when we lived in California, you guys came out to visit us and we went to Disneyland.
Yeah, she was 7 months old when we came out there.
Yeah. So those are 2 experiences together. So the Collins are a Disney family as well. I will go out to say. So Debbie and Rebecca,
which would make it awkward if they weren't for this podcast. Like they were saying, we just don't care.
But I'm excited because Debbie's here. She and Rebecca, her teenage daughter, went to Disney World last week and did all the Genie things that were available to do, which I'm very excited to hear firsthand about. So we talked a little bit about Genie before we knew a little bit about Genie a couple months ago. I don't know. Time is nothing anymore. And
if you missed that episode of the news, do you want to just describe Genie Plus very briefly for listeners who may not be?
I was just about to. Do you have to interrupt?
I can just not talk anymore in this episode, if that would be helpful to you. So, you and Debbie can just sort of have a catch up and I'll just feed treats to my dog. How about that?
No, you'll have better.
Or can I participate? Is that okay?
Don't accidentally eat the dog treats.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So Genie, and then Debbie, you can even correct me on this. Genie's the new system taking over fast passes and things like this. Now this is at Disney World and it's already started. It hasn't even started at Disneyland yet. So still waiting for that date. But Disney World, I was playing with it on my phone yesterday and today. So I can even look at the Disney Genie app as is, and it will show me a tip board, like what the wait times are. And if you have Genie Plus, what the next lightning lane / fast pass time will be, when things are out. I like the dining option as well. It looks like you can see if there's any more dining reservations or see if there's a walk-up wait list. I thought that was pretty nifty as well. It can plan your day, right? So if you plug in all the things.
When you go to the Genie system on your app, it asks you questions. What do you want to ride? And you can it's a radio button, just a button. You just tap at what all you want to ride. Then there's the next page. What attractions do you want to see, shows and things like that? Or where might you want to eat? And so what it does then is it itinerates, it does an algorithm and puts it all together. And then it tells you, you might want to ride Space Mountain about 3:50. It's going to be lower. Normally that's a lower attendance time, or head on over to Big Thunder Mountain at 10:05 because that's lower attendance time. So it gives you ideas of when to go to places. It also can show you the exact wait at the exact time. So right now we have 35 minutes at the Jungle Cruise. So if you want to ride it shows you where to go and when. But you are constantly on your phone all day long. You have to be to keep up with it. You just constantly are on your phone.
Yeah, and that was one of my thoughts was like, I think now on you got to add to your Disney packing list like an extra charging thing, because otherwise I'm on my phone a lot just before with the fast passes, and I would usually get around 8 o'clock and my phone's about to die. So at this point, it's like you got to bring a phone and a charger brick.
You do. In fact, that was my very, very first thing when Andee was talking to me about being on this. I'm like, that was my very top thing. Make sure that you have extra charging devices or a phone battery pack or something. I never had a problem. Now, granted, I did just buy a new phone a week or 2 weeks before we left. So my phone battery, I never once was I running low on. I think 30% was the lowest my battery got by the time I got back to my hotel. But you do want to make sure. And then for those people who don't plan well or organize well, Disney has vending machines with $30 charging devices in them.
So, wow. So you're saying that they will allow you to buy?
Oh, absolutely. You can buy anything.
That's so convenient.
Yeah, so nice of them. You can buy masks too if you don't have masks. There's vending machines with masks in them.
Wow.
I didn't look. I don't even know how much those were. I did not look at that because we didn't need that. But
wow. Okay. So did you use that?
So
I know you guys.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Did you? I know you guys you used everything. So did you use that method to plan a day?
I did. Well, yes and no, because then we did the next level, which was Genie Plus, where you pay $15 per person per day, plus tax.
Plus tax even.
Yeah, it was like $31.60, I think, for the two of us each day. Yep, you got to add this. State of Florida wants their part of it.
No, but usually, and this, this is weird. Sometimes Disney will include it in the $30, so they'll charge one each.
Because Disney likes to have the round number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh, thanks, Diz.
Yeah, yet another cha-ching for Disney. So we paid for that every day, and then you can have access to the lightning lanes. You don't get lightning lanes otherwise, and you can they're free. One lightning lane starting at 7 a.m, and then you can get another one either 2 hours later or when you use the first one.
Okay, and that's if you buy Genie Plus.
If you buy Genie Plus, yes.
Okay.
But you don't get access to lightning lanes if you don't buy Genie Plus.
Okay.
And the lightning lanes, we walked right on rides pretty much. You didn't really, because they really target, or the people who paid the extra money, they really get you on the rides soon.
So even like the big rides, like the Avatar and the Star Wars, they're pretty.
Well, each park has 2 paid for. So each park, so there's 8 total in the whole Disney World that you have to pay extra on top of the 15 for. But yeah, you pretty much, if you did choose to pay for those, which we did, you walk right on them. I don't like to wait. I'm impatient. I want to be right. I want to do it now.
Debbie, I'm like you. Now. Like if you say I can pay $15 to avoid a 2-hour line, like take my money.
Yes. So Rise of the Resistance, we paid. It was $15 a person plus tax, and then we pretty much walked right on it. And as far as Disney goes, this is just a genius ride because they keep you so entertained throughout the whole thing. You really go through about 5 different rooms and places, and they're acting like you are going to. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not a Star Wars fan. So
no, it's okay. And you know what? Even before you do, we're embarrassed that we haven't even been on the attraction yet because we just haven't.
Well, you couldn't have. It's brand new. It's only been there a year.
Yeah, but we've both been there right before it opened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like literally just right before it opened.
Yeah. So we haven't been there.
Anyway, they keep you entertained. But on the other one that's in Hollywood Studios where Rise of Resistance is, Mickey's Runaway Railroad. That's the other one that they pay for. And
is it worth it?
That was only like $8 a person, not 15, like Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, but is it worth it? If Rise of the Resistance was worth paying for, was Mickey's Runaway Railroad worth it?
Only because I got right on and didn't have to wait. And that one actually happened to break down. Right, we were like entering our time slot, and it broke down. And we're like, Rebecca and I were staring at each other. What do we do? Where do we go? What do we want to do? And it came back up and not working. So we hopped in line and got right on it. Not necessarily, no. Because even if depending on how many days you're there, we were there long enough that we got to do every park once. We did Magic Kingdom twice, had a free day, had lots of extra time. In fact, we finished each day in about 2/3 of a day. So
that's cool.
We had lots of downtime and lots of free time that we could just kind of hang out or relax and whatever. So no, we probably didn't need to, but if we spent our time waiting in line at things like Slinky Dog and Toy Story Mania, stuff like that.
So you did, okay, so let me get this straight. Sorry. So you did wait in line for Slinky Dog and Toy Story Mania, yes, or didn't?
Yes, we
Okay.
had a lightning lane at one time for Toy Story Mania, so we got right on.
Okay.
Slinky Dog, we did wait. We must have had another lightning lane or something. I don't remember. So we couldn't get one at that time, but it was only like a 30-minute wait, so it wasn't long.
Okay. So is it when I get Genie Plus? So if I got Genie Plus and I'm like, cool, these are all the lightning lanes. If I want to go on Rise of the Resistance through a lightning lane, I still have to pay that extra individual.
Yes.
So it is not included
No.
in the lightning lane.
No.
On the flip side, if I decide not to play for Genie Plus, I'm just going to wait in the lines. I'm okay waiting.
Yes.
But I can pay for the individual, so I can pay to get Rise on the Resistance. Either way, I'm going to pay for Rise of the Resistance if I don't feel like doing the virtual queue.
Yes.
Okay. Now, or I could just go all day. Is there a way to go stand by to all these ones that you're paying for? Can I go to the park without paying anything extra?
Oh yeah, definitely. Everything. You can do everything without paying extra. You're just waiting in the normal long lines like everybody else has. So
like a savage.
like a savage. And I don't know why, but the Rise of the Resistance tends to break down a lot.
I heard that.
So,
Yeah, it's very complex.
Who were there a few weeks ago, they said a 2-hour wait for Rise of the Resistance. They ended up waiting a little over 3 because it broke down twice while they were in line.
Yeah, $15 is well worth it.
Is it though? I mean, what
3 hours?
The whole family, like what? Like
yeah, you're right. Exactly. My perspective of a vacation has changed because I'm a family of 5. I have 2 adult children now. So now my husband stayed back to work, so it was just the 2 of us. So yeah, paying $30 a day and $15 or $30 now and then for a ride was nothing. But yeah, if you're a big family or family of 4 or more, that's a considerable add to your day.
It's all choices, Andy. Like Emma and Annika are adults; they can pay their own $15.
Yeah, they'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder, hey, I don't even know. I know that Emma has like certain passes to get her family in. I wonder if I don't think that includes the.
I doubt it very seriously. Hey, I work at Disneyland. Can I?
No. So Deb, did you calculate how much extra you spent on Genie Plus and individual lightning lanes? Did you calculate the total of what you spent for just you and Rebecca?
I did not. It can be, it's $30 a day for 5 days. So right there's about 150, whatever. No, 30 more than that. So 5 days. Yeah. 5 times 30 is $150. Plus then we had, trying to think, 8. Let me do some quick math here and see if I can figure it out. Sorry for the downtime.
Thinking. I just wonder, Al, for you, it would be like interesting. I'd wonder, like, just a single person paying. But guys,
honestly, if I'm going solo, hold on just a second, my dog just turned on the TV. If you hear that in the background, if I'm going solo, I think it's very much worth it because at least at Disneyland, I've done solo at Disney World, but it's over 10 years ago and I can't remember. I like waiting in line for 2 hours as a solo person is a very different experience than waiting in line for 2 hours with a group.
That's true.
When we go as a group, we're goofing around in line and doing all that kind of stuff. When you're solo, it's just waiting in line. That's all it is. Yes. So I think it would be well worth it as a single person or as a solo trip to probably if you think of it, like I go to work, I make more than $15 an hour. So like my time is worth $15 to save a 2-hour waiting line.
I figure we spent about a little under $300, about $275 extra on the trip, just for the lightning lane and for the Genie Plus, excuse me, and for the extra fast passes.
Interesting. For 2 people. Okay.
Yeah, so 2 people. Yeah, and honestly, I will admit we paid for everyone that we had the opportunity to. Just because
for our purposes, that's great because for our purposes, we're trying to get we want to know about it, right? And I don't know that our family of 4 would or would not. I don't know. I still don't know.
Isn't it tax deductible because we have a podcast?
Nope.
You can look at the waits though too. When we were in Magic Kingdom, Space Mountain was a 20-minute wait all day long.
Oh my
until we
gosh.
decided to ride it, and then it was 40. It's like, seriously, what happened here? And it was the very last thing we were going to do in the park. We were going to leave. So I'm like, fine, $9, let's go. We got on right now and we're done. Or I can, even for 40 minutes, I paid the extra $18 for the two of us to ride.
And it's for all the parks, right? So you pay for it one day, you get it all, like you get it both parks if you're a park hopper. Is that right?
You do. Now you have to register that you park hop though. You don't just, they just don't automatically know you went from Magic Kingdom to Epcot. You have to, in your app, there's a place to say what park you're in. And once you do the park hop, once you tell them that you're going to Epcot or wherever you're going, and then the Lightning Lane adds on for that day too, for whatever park you're in.
Did you use it at all for dining purposes?
No.
Okay.
Well, no, I use the app for dining purposes regularly, but I never used it to look for that. We had reservations at 3 restaurants going into the trip that I made my 60 days out. Other than that, we just planned on eating on the fly and figuring out what we were going to do at the time.
Are we 60 days away from our trip, Andee? And have you already made reservations? Knowing you are who you are?
Probably not.
We're
You're
60 days
fine.
away from when we arrive, but not from when you arrive. So I'm waiting until the 60 days from when you arrive so that we can include you on. So you'll actually be there, when we, anyway, it's coming up. It's coming
I don't
up.
know. I just feel judged by that.
In the Disney app, so you can make all his reservations and do all that.
Yeah. So he's on there. I was confused a little bit because it's supposed to be, if you're staying on property, it's supposed to be actually 60 days plus 10. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's not working out for me. And I could have called yesterday, but I just didn't feel like being on hold. So
no,
I don't know.
Their on hold waits are insane.
I know.
Before our trip, anytime I tried, your wait time's approximately 240 minutes.
I know.
No, thank you.
That's how they get you, man. They don't want to talk to you.
That's how they get you. Well, we still never heard back on the Run Disney thing. So
yeah, that's true too. They want your money. So Deb, what restaurants did you end up eating at? We
ate at Tony's in the Magic Kingdom. Never eaten there before. It was amazing.
Really?
I know, and I've heard really bad things about it, but I loved it. We both loved it. It was so good.
Okay.
And then we ate at Primetime 50s Cafe, just because, again, that's another place Rebecca had never eaten before. So I thought that was kind of fun. And she really enjoyed. She giggled at the waitress from making fun of us or whatever. When I asked for another glass of water, made fun of me needing to pee and stuff like that, whatever. And then we actually ate at Cinderella's Royal Table.
Oh, that's right. I remember you said that.
I haven't eaten there since before she was born. So
right. When we went, we all went when the kids were little.
Yep. So those were the 3 sit-down restaurants we did. We did do the Cosmic Rays in Magic Kingdom one day, but again, I ordered on the app. I didn't have any problems with anything on the app. It was beautiful. In fact, you order on the app and then you say, I'm here, just like you do at restaurants around here. I do that too. And then they say, okay, come pick up from window 5 or come pick up from window 2. And you go there and your food's there and you walk away with it.
I've done it at Disneyland, and I will only do that now. Like, it's so convenient.
It really, it's nice. It is nice, I'll admit. And it's not nice when you forget to do that, and then you go up. And Emma and I did that when we were there. I can't remember why we were there. We were there, and oh no, it was Ed and I. It was Ed and I. The last time we went to order counter service, and I forgot about the mobile app, and we went there, and they're like, "No, you have to do it," because it was after COVID. And so I know you have to do it on the mobile app. So we ended up doing it on the mobile app, waiting around forever. Right. Anyway, use the mobile app is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it worked great for the hotel too. I would place the order. I would step my foot out the door, say I'm here, which I really wasn't, but I said I was. I would wait at the counter when I got there.
That's awesome. So that was when, you guys stayed at, tell me
Caribbean
again.
Beach.
Caribbean Beach. That's right. Yes. That's where Emma worked when she was at Caribbean Beach. That's right. Did you like it there? I
did. The thing I liked it most was the transportation. The Skyliner is great. Yeah, it is amazing. It breaks down a lot too. Yeah. But I never really interrupted us for our days or anything other than, I did want to tell you this point too. So one time we were at Epcot. The only way to get from Caribbean Beach to Epcot is the Skyliner. Mm-hmm. Skyliner was down. They said, okay, go to the front of the park and we have buses for you. We went to the front of the park. There were no buses for us. And so the guy working the area said, oh, you'll have to go back to Skyliner. I'm like, seriously, we just want to get back to our hotel.
Yeah.
And so I just got on my phone and ordered a Lyft, and we were back in 10 minutes. I'm like, so yet another expense to my trip is to a Lyft driver. But
no, and I think that happens a lot too, not because of it being broke down. That kind of just stinks, actually. But
that particular day, though, there were storms coming in, and I'm not surprised if Skyliner was down. We were under a tornado watch for like 5 hours, which is unheard of in Florida, but we were. And so we were just wanted to get back to the room. Rebecca doesn't care for storms, and I was just trying to get her back so she'd feel comfortable. So for me, the cost of the Lyft driver wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, to allay that sort of anxiety and growth, and just get it done, figure it out later.
Exactly.
That's Debbie's personality. Get it done. So I'm glad. No, I'm glad. I'm thinking though, we've kind of like hypothesized about this before, thought about this before. What happens if, my mom and dad want to take a day at Disney World and don't use their phones often? Can that still happen for people who don't use their phones? Is that still going to be a okay trip to do?
It's possible. It's just not as organized. Depends on how organized they are. As you know, I'm ultra organized. I always joke that I get more done because I'm so organized. And so, I get more done. That's why Disney only took us 2/3 of a day to get through an entire park.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Because Disney's not a trip for lack of organization or for the faint of heart.
No, I know. We've talked about that before too. Like, can you be spontaneous and go to a Disney park, which some people say you can, but I don't know. Lately, I think it's becoming more tough. That's becoming more tough to do.
I think for folks who aren't familiar with tech, like I understand sort of the advancement of like using technology, but like if older folks and folks who just don't have the most up-to-date phones, it's not gonna really, it's becoming harder to navigate.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's fair for Disney to be charging all this Genie stuff?
Probably not, because again, they're just charging for everything every time you turn around. And my first inclination of this is when they started charging for parking. It's like that was years ago. I couldn't even recite the year, but that is all about, you could tell they're just going to start nickel and diming everybody for everything. And I was a bit apprehensive about going on this trip for that reason, because I've always had the dining plan. So I know I pay for it up front and it's a hidden cost, but I'm like, how much more is this trip going to cost me now that I'm paying for every bottle of water and every soda we want? But I don't know. I got through it okay, but Disney does nickel and dime everything now.
How were so when this Genie thing first came out, there were a ton of people that said, "That's it, Disney, you've gone too far. I'm not going to the parks anymore." Do you think you saw evidence of that, or do you think everybody was just sort of there who would have been there in the first place?
I think they were pretty much there. The parks were pretty packed, which was surprised to me on how quickly we were able to get through everything. They were people everywhere. I've been to Fantasyland before where it's just like a mosh pit and it's shoulder to shoulder. It wasn't like that, but it was, you really had to maneuver around people and strollers and those electric wheelchairs, etc. It was packed.
Yeah. Okay. That's really good to know. I'm really fascinated by everything about this, and I'm so glad you were here to tell us some of the things that we had questions about. Al, did you have any more questions? I feel great because I don't think that when the Zomerman family goes, I don't think we will be taking advantage of everything like you did, Deb. I at one time, you know what I mean? So it's nice to hear from you, from someone who did, spend the money to do everything and what that was like, and to hear how fast you can get through a day at a park. What was Flights of Passage individual price, or was that part of the Lightning? That was individual.
Yep. Yeah, the two at Animal Kingdom are Everest and Flights of Passage. So those are both paid for extra.
Were they worth it? Was it worth it for Everest? And I mean, Flights of Passage could be a pretty long line.
It could be. Last time I was there was 2018. I was in Disney, and we had the fast passes for Flights of Passage, and it still took us almost an hour, even with a fast pass. This time with the Lightning Lane, 20 minutes maybe.
Okay.
Wow. See, that for me, that is such a yeah, I'll and again, it's privilege, right? I have the privilege that I can afford that, and I'm not gonna be missing my rent. But if to your point, if you're taking a whole family and that cost is multiplied, and it for some families that's not going to be an affordable option. You're adding like $100 a day.
You are adding quite a bit. Yeah. 1 point for Lightning Lanes too. If you do use those, you can get in 5 minutes before your assigned time or 15 minutes after your assigned time. So you get an hour window to go.
All right. That's good to know too. Wow. This is just really giving me a lot to think about for our future vacation in a couple months, in 60 days.
Well, you're fortunate going in January. You're not going to have a lot of as big of attendance.
I hope so.
January is always one of my favorite months to go before.
Agreed. I think it'll be crowded during the marathon weekend, which we're going to be there for. I'll get there the day after, or the day it ends. But I don't think we're going to the parks anyway. Those 4 days of the marathon weekend. Or if we do, it'll just be to walk around. It won't be for anything specific. So that's all good information, Deb. Thanks for coming here and telling us everything we needed to know. Did we miss anything? Is there anything we didn't ask about that you need to tell us?
I did hear your podcast last week or a couple weeks ago with Emma when she went to the Halloween party. We did the Halloween party too. We did the Boo Bash.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me. So Boo Bash was supposed to be different than Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Was it different?
I don't know because I'd never been to before. We were supposed to go to Disney. Well, actually, I canceled 3 trips in the last 2 years. One was a family emergency. 2 were COVID. But so we were supposed to go 2 years ago for Halloween and last year for Halloween and didn't go to either of them. So I'd never been to the Not So Scary. The Boo Bash, I don't have anything to compare to. It was fun. It was rainy that night, which kind of didn't help things. There were trick-or-treating stations. We came home with pounds and pounds and pounds of candy that we didn't need. All the rides were
is that ever true for candy that you don't need it?
I don't know. I like candy.
How much did it cost to go to the Boo Bash?
$109.
That's about the same as Mickey's Not So Scary. So I'm wondering what the difference was.
I don't know. I think it was less expensive before the week of Halloween. We just happened to be going the week of Halloween. Okay. But if you would have gone earlier in September or even October, I think it was in the 80s or 90s.
Okay.
The price went up that week. And then I think the price even went up if you went on the 31st or the day before. We were there on the 24th.
Well, I know they're starting all of the prep if they haven't even opened yet for the Christmas shindig. So
actually, I think they have. I was sent a Facebook message from actually my daughter about the transformation, a timeline.
Yeah.
Is the Christmas stuff going to still be up when we're there, or is it going to be gone?
No, it'll be long
gone.
It'll be long gone, my friend.
They're quick, considering they changed from Halloween to Christmas, I think Wednesday this week or something like that. It was overnight. Done.
Yeah.
Wait, they don't have like 3 weeks of just Thanksgiving celebration?
No. Nope.
I mean, the turkey leg sales alone have to be.
Good point.
Thanksgiving is sadly lost again.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm interested to hear what our listeners have to say about this, especially I think my question this week would be, is it good? Is it good to be paying for the extra? Like, I don't know. I mean, I could go either way. I go both ways. Was it smart of Disney? Well, of course it was smart of Disney to do this. They're making money. Was it Disney-like to be? I don't know. Help me formulate my question. Is it, I'm not going to say, is it fair? I'm not going to say, is it right? I'm not going to say, should Disney be doing this, right? Because
is it worthwhile? Maybe a better way of framing it, right?
Well, I think it's worthwhile, but people were like really upset when they started doing this. They said it was like Universal who started nickel and diming it, and that took the Disney atmosphere away, right? Or it took like
I mean, it's the thing that we often talk about is, we love Disney and we love the stuff, and it's a capitalist endeavor, right? Like I think it's one of those things when you talk about this sort of thing that we sometimes forget because it's something we love. Their purpose is to make money. And if they can and to your point earlier, Debbie, like, people still come, you're like, oh, people complain, I'm never going to Disney again. And then 2 days later, so when are we going to Disney?
Yeah,
again?
exactly.
So I think they account for that in these things that, like, yeah, we're going to get some bad press, but ultimately our research shows that people are going to pay it.
Yep. Okay. Well, then there you go. There you have it. All right. So then, listeners, I guess from you, I want to hear, what do you think about it for yourself? Would you pay it? Would you not? Would you stand in the lines? What would you do? I'm so glad Debbie was here to tell us what it was like to pay for everything, because I mean, seriously, that's good information to have. So you can find all of the show notes that we're talking about here at duelingdisney.com. But let us know the answers to your question on social media. Facebook's at Dueling Disney, Instagram and Twitter. Or should I just say Meta? You could find us at Meta.
I don't think you can. If people go looking up Meta and Dueling Disney, they're going to know what the hell.
Oh, Twitter and Instagram have that underscore. So it's at dueling_Disney. You can hashtag all your Disney fun with us, hashtag Dueling Disney. And then please leave a review wherever you listen to this podcast.
Please remain seated until the monorail comes to a complete stop. Then collect your belongings, watch your head, and step carefully from the train. On behalf of all of our crew, thanks for traveling with us, and we hope you have a happy and memorable visit here at Dueling Disney. This is the Tomorrowland Podcast Station.